everyone, it's Stephanie.
Hi, this is Emily.
And today we are back with something a little bit different. We are planning on doing a fictional boyfriend tag. So basically there's 10 questions. I believe I got this from, I don't remember exactly where, but I will link it down below, the original video, so you can see where we got these questions from and etc. So the first question is, pick a boyfriend, your most romantic boyfriend. You want to go first?
Sure. So mine is actually Laurie Lawrence from Little Women. I always liked him when I was younger, reading about him, because I always liked the fact that he had a love for Joe, but he, like, overall, just because it was like a coming of age story, we kind of saw him grow, his infatuation kind of grow into respect, because in the end they didn't really end up together. And he ended up falling in love with Amy, Joe's younger sister, but he never genuinely ever lost interest in Joe as a person. Okay. So I always thought that was one of the most romantic gestures like a guy can really show you, even though sometimes things just don't work out between you and someone else, and it doesn't necessarily mean though that it's either just romance or no romance, right? There's not that clear distinction of line. So I think any sort of relationship or guy, right, like boyfriend, former lover, whatever, if they're able to do that for you, I think that's like the cutest thing.
So the one that I picked is Grant from If I Was Your Girl. I kind of went along the lines of more recent books because I didn't want to go too far back. So I picked Grant from If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo, and if you watched the video, I've actually talked about this book previously. It was in our LBGT romance book bingo book, and the reason why I picked this one is because Grant is the guy that, you know, I forget her name, she falls in love with him, and he is probably like the sweetest guy ever, and he was willing to kind of overlook the fact that, you know, she used to be a guy, etc. So I feel like that was really romantic, and he was really sweet. So
I think the next question was about who you would choose as a fictional boyfriend as a dark and moody bad boy with a good side. And I actually just answered this list based on like honest answers from characters that I genuinely wanted to be with at some point in my life. Okay. So mine was Ishmael Chambers from Snow Falling on Cinders. So that story mostly is a kind of like a close post-World War II historical fiction, and it kind of details the prejudices that a community has towards Japanese Americans, fishing communities up in Alaska. And just given the harsh prejudice premise, this man pretty much had all the ability as the journalist who was covering the case and sort of helping with the evidence to sort of make it so that his former love's husband, who was Japanese, could have died in his hands, and he could have possibly thought delusionally get a chance to be with her again because of all the other things that happened in between. But in the end, he chose to not do that. He actually helped clear the husband's name, despite of knowing that in this case, his love for her would never really be answered. And I thought that was kind of an interesting take on, I guess, as a boyfriend, just because you kind of realize that the guy, he realized that love is less about possession than it is about just blessing that someone is happy.
My pick is Mernon from the Morganville Vampire series by Rachel Kane. I don't remember if he was hot or not in terms of looks, but he was literally the definition of a psychotic, dark, bad boy kind of vampire, because he had those mood swings, you know, he'd be really high up and then really far low and really below. And then just listening to him and reading about him, I was you know, really into that. But he also had a really good side because he really cared about Claire, which is the main girl. So when he was on his high level, he was really caring about her, and then I was like, okay.
So for paranormal boyfriend, I didn't really have one here because I don't really read paranormal romance that much. Okay. And I would say my only real pick would have been maybe Beast from Beauty and the Beast, a classic fairy tale, because I was he learned from his mistakes. Okay. He got redeemed. That's
Alright, so for my pick, I picked Tristan from the Malediction trilogy by Danielle L. Jensen. He is a troll prince. Okay. So the reason why I picked him was because mostly people think of trolls as kind of like ugly and whatnot, but he is a pretty troll. So I was like, all right. And plus he's like super powerful, really really strong, and he was really really caring because he didn't care about, you know, like trolls are in this book have a lot of magic and humans don't. So rather than thinking that he's above everyone else, he was actually that we're all equal, you know, regardless with or without magic. And then with people with magic, we should actually protect people without magic. So I really like that kind of characteristic as well.
Okay, so in terms of boyfriend you would want to tame, I actually chose Just Tuck from Tuck Everlasting. That's one of my favorite books, actually.
Okay.
And he basically was just a childhood crush. I did like the fact that he had a sense of adventure about him, so I would just go along with that.
Boyfriend want to tame. Okay, so for mine, I went on the dark side as well. I picked Jean-Claude from the Anita Blake series by Laurel K. Hamilton. And even though I have really mixed feelings about this series in general, Jean-Claude is like one of the core characters. He is the master vampire of the city. And one of Anita's like first lovers, even though afterwards she got like 15 of them. So, but he's like super super strong, really caring, because he's still, even though he's like so strong and like really powerful, he still cares about Anita a lot and will try to prove it in like different ways. But like his ways are a little obscure too, because at the end of the day he's been alive for like hundreds of years, you know. So it's not necessarily always what I will be like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But like it makes sense for him.
Okay.
So taming him will be like, you know, and plus all the sex scenes in the story. Anyway.
Definitely adult. Okay. Boy that you friend zoned. Okay, so mine was actually pretty interesting. I chose James Bond because I remember when I was reading it younger, I was just like, I'm not a masochist. I can't handle this type of guy. Like I would really like him as like a friend, you know, being so hands-on and really smart whenever you're in trouble, but he's too much of a danger and he's way too much of a womanizer for me.
Okay, so my pick is Dexter from Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin. So basically the story is, you know, Rachel and Darcy, they're best friends, and Darcy is getting married and Dexter's her fiance, and Rachel ends up sleeping with him. And the reason why I would friend zone this whole situation is because Dexter is way too serious. Like I cannot, like I understand, like I like smart guys, but I don't like when you're smart and serious all the time. And he was like that in the story, and I'm like, it's great if you're like that for other girls, you know, like some girls who are also smart and serious, like you guys complement each other, but not me. I think you'd be good as a friend.
So when it comes to soulmates, I can't not deny him this privilege. Sherlock Holmes for sure. I'm a Sherlock Holmes bookie for sure. Always, for him forever. Like I don't know what's up with him. Like I just like him. It doesn't matter what actor plays him or what book I read of him. He's just really really cool.
Okay, well I picked Owen from the Elemental Assassin series by Jennifer Estep. So basically, it's about Elemental Assassin. Her and Owen is her boyfriend, and basically he's super. You know, obviously as an assassin, your job is very dangerous. You're always like out for the hunt and whatnot. But Owen, rather than always telling her like, oh, you shouldn't do that, killing people is wrong, like he would actually like be understanding, because she doesn't go around killing random people. She goes around killing people that actually deserve it, to be fair. So the boy before that actually was always judging her and telling her, you know, you shouldn't, there's always the law. And like sometimes she's like, well, the law doesn't do anything, you know. And it's true, sometimes the law really, it helps certain people, and sometimes it doesn't really help all the way. So I like the fact that he would always be like, okay, rather than ask questions, he'll be like, here, have a knife. You know. And like I don't know if like specifically him is my soulmate, but that kind of characteristic is something that I value in a soulmate.
And then a boyfriend you would elope with, I probably would say Mark Darcy from the Bridget Jones Diary, only just because he seemed like a pretty responsible guy with a good head and a good heart. And I would say I'd marry him.
Yeah, so
sums it up.
my pick was Nick from The Royal We by Heather Cox, and it's basically the story of, you know, Prince, I forgot the actual prince, like the real life.
Prince Williams and Kate Middleton.
Yeah, so it's basically the story, like a fictional story of that, except Kate
Royals.
Middleton is, you know, American in the book and not British. So yes, I would elope with this guy because one, he's a prince. Like I cannot deal with a paparazzi wedding, and I feel like as a royalty, that's what it's gonna be like. And if you elope, well, all the better.
So you want all the attention. No, I just like the fact that Mr. Darcy was just like kind of like he's well off, but he's
Yeah.
not necessarily like all in the spotlight.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has a pretty important job as a lawyer. So
I like the loyalty side.
yeah, I figured. So the boyfriend you'll venture anywhere with, I would probably say is Mark Watney from The Martian. So I've always liked that book a lot, just because it's about like outer space and like in general, this guy, he had to survive on his own in kind of a Robinson Crusoe way on Mars. So I would definitely put the odds on him. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like.
All right. Well, my pick is W.W. Hale from the Heist Society series by Ali Carter, and this story is basically a story of like master criminals, except that W.W. Hale isn't one himself. He's just associated with them. He comes from like a rich family, but because he's not one himself, but he's with them all the time. He's picked up a lot of like tricks and stuff that I feel like being able to venture anywhere with him would be like really good, because he can get us out of sticky situations.
That's funny.
If anything comes to it.
So a boyfriend you'd want to be stranded on a desert island with. I said Sirius Black from Harry Potter. Basically, the summary is that the man escaped prison, so he'd probably not escape the island. Enough said.
Yeah, so mine was actually Cass from
That's hilarious. It's kind of
by Leigh Bardugo, because I was like, he's so good at planning things that I feel like he would have already like been like 10 steps ahead of me and been like, okay, we'll do this and then we'll do that and then we'll get out, like, and I've just been like, wait, what was the first step? So I feel like that he's a good choice.
Okay, and then the most badass boyfriend, I would say, would be Edmond Dante from The Count of Monte Cristo. I overall just mainly respect the guy. He just like has like this need for like to get everything done the way he thinks is just and fair, and because that didn't really happen to him, he also tried to right a wrong by his former lover. So
yeah, so for my pick was Raphael by from the Penryn and the End of Days trilogy by Susan E. He's an archangel. I mean, I feel like that kind of explains everything.
You just
like badass.
I like how you like pick boyfriends that all have like predestined like status already, and mine's always just like I have to work for it.
No.
Yeah, it just speaks to what type of guys we like.
So basically, those are our picks for fictional boyfriend tag. If you like the video, please thumbs up and subscribe to us if you want to see more of our future videos.
Yeah, definitely make sure if you have any more to say about our fictional boyfriends, and if you like or don't like some of our choices, definitely comment down below. We also have a Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram that we engage in every single week, so definitely make sure to hit us up there.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.